Warning. This program contains strong language, auditory violence, and mental nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised. From across time and space, through the realms of Azeroth and into your eardrums, your uncensored home for all things Warcraft, the Unshackled Fury podcast is back, and better than ever. In this episode, we bring you Blizzcon news and predictions. We're taking a survey, for some reason, raging on influencers, and giving the lowdown on just what in the hell has happened to this show and where it's been. But first, in the months leading up to this relaunch, I knew that one of the things I wanted to do was add a new flavor to my special brand of auditory lunacy that I provide to you fine folks here on this show. And so I went searching. I went searching for a partner in crime, somebody to come along with me on this crazy quest. And from the halls of valor itself, a fellow warrior thundered through the sky and agreed to join me in conquest and glory. He's a warrior veteran, a raider, and most importantly for this endeavor, a podcaster. So with that, I present to you, formerly one of the co-hosts of the Converted podcast, my new co-host here on Unshackled Fury. I give you Navox. Say hello to the folks, Nav.
Well, thank you for that very nice intro there. Yeah, hey guys, how's it going? It's nice to be back in the podcasting realm.
So, dear Nav, you have so graciously agreed to come along. I don't know where this journey of ours is going to go, and what twists and turns it'll take, but we'll glad to have you on board.
I don't know if two warriors raging on something's going to do a whole lot of good there.
It could be too much for this world. I don't really know. We haven't done like a test show. We're just diving into this thing.
We're just diving right headfirst into it, just right in there, heroic leaping in.
But that is our way. We're warriors.
Yeah, exactly. Charge, do stupid stuff, put ourselves out there.
Heroic leap, just right into the middle of the fray, not knowing what the fuck we're doing.
Exactly.
Very good. Well, I'm happy to have you here. And before we get into our first co-rage segment here, I did want to talk about where the show has been. It's been a year since Unshackled Fury has been around. And the very last show I did, in fact, was an anniversary show, and it proclaimed how the show would go on and various glory and all of this and that. And then nothing. No shows. I kind of let it flame out. I made a little post on Twitter, said it'd be coming back, and that was kind of it. Didn't really say much else. And so I wanted to take a second, more than a second, a few minutes, just to kind of address that very briefly here and tie that into, I think, an issue that a lot of us feel in Warcraft over time, and that is an issue of burnout. Now, I don't know about you, Nav, but I think that each of us at one time or another has experienced burnout when it comes to Warcraft.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. All the time. And it, for me, it usually happens towards the end of a raid tier, actually. Because usually when the raid tier runs and you're getting to the end, you're fighting the boss and things like that. Seasons change. The temperature gets better outside. You want to be outside doing more stuff outside of World of Warcraft. Also, more games come out, and you want to dip your toes in the waters of, say, Destiny 2 or something, So it's like, but yeah, everybody gets burnout.
And I think you'll also agree that one of the things about burnout that's important to recognize is that it's happening, right?
Yes.
And that I think is the one thing that kind of led me to a variety of changes, particularly with respect to this show, is that I've been playing Warcraft pretty much since Burning Crusade launched. It was. I've said this before. I was a South Park baby. Came right in after that Make Love Not Warcraft episode aired, and been playing ever since. And over time, kept on playing, was raiding. I eventually became a raid leader. Then I decided for one stupid reason or another to start doing this show. And then in my real life, I got a promotion at work, which led to a whole other load of headaches, hassles, and horseshit. And it just kind of compounded. And so where there was burnout in the game, there was burnout in my life, and I needed to start to scale things back, but I didn't really want to admit the level to which my burnout had risen. So over time, I was like, well, the show kind of needs to take a back seat because it just, frankly, as a content creator, I guess that's what we call ourselves, and I think you would agree, is that there is a lot of time and energy that is required to put something out that doesn't suck. I mean, let's face it. It takes a lot of time and energy to put out something that does suck. So it really takes a lot of energy if you want it to be good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I think with that in mind, I was finding that I didn't have the energy and really the creative energy to do what I wanted to do here. And so the show took a back seat. And then over time, I put down my mantle as a raid leader for my team. And I just took a solid break of several months. No Warcraft or very, very little. I stepped away from gaming almost entirely because I just needed to reset and refresh pretty much the whole deck in terms of Warcraft and all of my activity. And then on top of that, going back to last BlizzCon, there were just, I don't know, it's just, I kind of got a weird vibe. And it's kind of hard to explain, but I would come across individuals who, I don't know, it almost seemed like I was the dirty secret of the podcast community, and it just felt kind of awkward. And I don't know, for whatever reason, I let that get to me to a point where I was like, all right, that just pushed me over the edge. And I was like, I got it. I'm done. But here we are now. And in the last several months, you and I have talked at least a handful of times where I had said I wanted to bring the show back. And I felt that one of the things that this show could really use is another voice. Somebody to bring a whole other set of experiences and skill sets. And I think that you are somebody, because we've come across each other several times on The Converted. I've podcasted in the interim year here with your wife on the Organized Prime podcast, which if you guys haven't checked that out, which my guess is you probably haven't, it's about Amazon original shows. It's part of the Electric Streams Media Group, run by a dear friend of ours. And if you haven't checked that out, please do so. I would highly encourage you to do so. But in the meantime, you and I, Nav, we've been talking, and I've been saying, hey man, I want to bring Unshackled Fury back. And we kind of talked about this over the summer, and then finally now, something occurred about a week ago. This was about a week ago that really finally got my hackles up enough where I said, all right, damn it, this is something I got to rage about. This is the thing that's finally getting my juices flowing, because this is just the kind of weird asshole that I am, that this is the thing that finally gets me to break out. So now we're ready, and we're going to talk about what that is in just a second. But going forward now, for those of you that have listened to the show in the past, this show will be mostly the same to a point. I'm going to change a few of the format issues just a little bit, so there'll be some old, some new. But for the most part, it's still going to be now two warriors raging on stuff we think is bullshit, talking about the news we think that's important, and generally raising a whole lot of hell because it's fun, and that's what we like to do. So shall we jump into our first Let's Rage segment?
Yeah, let's jump right into it. Let's just do it.
All right, let's go. Let's Rage. So, the thing that got me all riled up was, and if you've been following my Twitter, you saw, or perhaps you saw, that I had asked a question as to what in the hell VillainCon was. Right? We saw this thing all over Twitter.
Yeah. And
Blizzard had teased, who do you want to go with? Is it King Leoric or is it the Lich King? And they showed like these masks, and clearly there was like a masquerade situation being set up.
Right. This was going on during TwitchCon.
Yes.
It was it was going on during TwitchCon happened, and then this is one of the parties that was thrown.
Yes, this was one of the after parties as it turns out, and I say this fully admitting that I am a huge Blizzard mark. I love,
same here.
Yeah, I love most of the things that Blizzard does. I mean, I buy games that I don't even play.
I bought Destiny 2 because it was in the Blizzard launcher. So
there you go.
I bought Overwatch because it was in the Blizzard launcher. I don't play Overwatch. I bought it because it's there. They'll put something out. I'll buy it.
I have the collector's edition sitting on my bookshelf with the Soldier 76 statue literally a foot away from my arm right now.
That's awesome.
And I haven't even played the game in 6 months. So, yeah. So I say this fully admitting I'm a huge Blizzard mark. But this VillainCon thing, it turned out, it seemed to me to be like one of these horrible after parties at the Oscars that only people like my mother-in-law care about, where it's like, oh, what did they wear at the after party and who was there and what kind of swag were they giving away? It's just real obnoxious kind of celebrity culture sort of stuff. But amongst all of that, the thing that got me just fucking crazy was when I saw people who were getting invited to this thing and they were going under the title of being an influencer. An influencer, not a podcaster, not a streamer, not a content creator, but quote-unquote influencer. And I will tell you, Nav, this is one of those phrases that gives me the douche chills. Now, this is like when you're somewhere and somebody does something really awkward and you want to just fold inside yourself because you're just, I got to get away from this situation. I just feel so terrible. Influencer is that word for me. So I don't know about you, man, but this is a phrase for me that needs to die.
Yeah, because it's just marketing. That's all it is.
Is that where we are? This is just pure marketing bullshit.
It's marketing. I know people are calling themselves influencers. They'll go out on their social media pages and they'll call themselves influencers, and they're maybe Blizzard hasn't reached out to them at all, but they're calling themselves that, and they try to get into these things. But there are people that Blizzard do approach. I think actually Blizzard has to approach those people to be, and they are called quote unquote Blizzard influencers.
Is that how we decide who an influencer is? There's not like a grand poobah of influencing who bestows the title of influencer upon the internets.
I almost wonder if it's who you know, though, as a thing, because a lot of the people that you see, I mean, they're on the inside of the community. I mean, there's a lot of people, and I don't want to go into naming names, but I'm just saying there's a lot of people that are on the inside of the community that have, connections inside of Blizzard as well, and they're getting the inside scoop and this, that, and the other, and it's the same people that we've seen forever. It's not the people that are making content out on. There's a lot of people I follow out on YouTube that are making really good quality content, and there's also the podcasting community. There's people in the podcasting community that I listen to more, and I consider them even more of an influencer than some of the people that I saw at VillainCon. But again, I don't know the story. I don't know if they didn't go to TwitchCon. I don't know this and the other, but it'd be interesting to see what Blizzard considers, who they approach and why they approach those people.
And I want to make sure that we're making a distinction here, because
yes,
people who are streaming gameplay, people who are creating podcasts. I mean, I'm not necessarily talking about us. I don't know what I guess it is the podcast, but we're small fish, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We're like little tadpole on the edge of the pond.
We're not exactly. Yeah,
right. Yeah. So we're not going after, I want to make this distinction. We're not going after just people that are out there making videos and putting stuff up on the internet like that, in the sense that it's related to gameplay and, putting out quality content in that. I'm talking about people that are marketing themselves based on fake reality world-esque bullshit of, I have 500,000 followers, you should give me free shit, and I'm gonna tell you to buy this shampoo, or I'm gonna do this thing, and it's so blatant and obvious. And the problem that I'm seeing is that these people are being rewarded for this clearly inauthentic behavior from companies who should value authenticity. That's where I'm looking at this, and I'm going, how is it that these people are getting invited to what clearly was a pretty cool time, when you yourself have spoken to other shows who put out content and they got nothing.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and actually, some people that got invited to it, I saw the hashtag VillainCon 2017 from people that aren't even in the WoW community, and they got invited to this.
Now, see, that's just bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it does span the Blizzard genre. So are you talking about people that were in Blizzard or people that...
No. Just people on YouTube that don't typically make World of Warcraft or any type of Blizzard videos. And it could just be BS out there on Twitter. It could have just been social media vomit where somebody just wanted to go out there and type in hashtag VillainCon, and that maybe they actually didn't get to go. But, you know, I'm a sucker for looking at Twitter all the time and looking at these hashtags. And so that's, you know, that's where I'm basing my guess off of. This is a guess. I have no proof that they actually went, but... But if you go out there and look at Twitter, type in VillainCon, you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll see, oh, that person doesn't really do a whole lot of WoW content. But there were a lot of people there, though, that, for example, I'm going to name someone right off the bat that I saw that was there, and she absolutely deserved to be there. Sparks, Little Sparks, LFG on Twitter. Did you see her cosplay costume for that? That was
pretty
amazing.
Intense.
That was pretty intense. I will say that was pretty awesome. So good job.
Yeah, and see, and those are the kinds of people that need to be rewarded.
Yes, those are the types of people that need to be rewarded. I mean, she did a phenomenal job on that outfit. I think it was Mystic Kingdom's Arthas.
Yeah,
I think that's what it was called. But yeah, that was.
Yeah, and see, and to me, that's the kind of behavior. It's not really behavior. It's a hobby, I guess. But I mean, that's the kind of person that needs to be rewarded and invited to these kinds of things. Not just people that are famous for being famous and not providing, I'm sorry, but any real value to the community as a whole. And so this is the thing that got me all fired up. And so I don't know if I'm totally off base here. Maybe influencers are the greatest things ever, and all these brands are finding just phenomenal value paying however much for a post about something that they're trying to pimp out. But I think that this is one of the phrases that needs to die. And Blizzard, I hope that you do not reward, you social media people, do not reward influencers, podcasters, streamers, those folks. Give it the go. But if you call yourself an influencer, change the title. Let it go. So I don't know. Maybe I've just lost my mind.
I don't know. I mean, I'm in a different boat though too, because there's a couple influencers out there. Well, actually, they're streamers. I'm just going to call them streamers that I watch on a regular basis, you know. And I've even fallen for some of this. I've even fallen for some of the marketing stuff. I picked up a Razer Naga because of Swifty, you know, 7 years ago back in Cataclysm.
Look what you did.
I mean, I picked up my first Razer Naga from watching one of his videos. I bought the Lycosa keyboard, which was a piece of dog shit. It was the worst keyboard I had. I would be in raids and the buttons would just go on repeat, and you'd have to be like, guys, sorry, I'm wiping the raid. The keyboard's freaking out. But I bought all that stuff based on, you know, him pushing stuff out there on his, you know, YouTube channel, and yeah, sure, you know, but I think that just goes to show, like, just do your research on things that you're buying into when you're watching some of these people. I'll never game without a Razer Naga. That golden, love it. I bought mine. I'm not promoting it. I love it. But
I don't know, Nav. This kind of sounds like you're an influencer. Are you already turning on me here? The very first episode, we're 20 minutes in, and you're already turning on me.
It's already turned. Yep. There we go.
God
guys.
Dang. It's just that kind of show now. All right. Well, Nav is turning into an influencer. Why don't we go ahead and skip on over to the news and start talking about what really matters and what's coming up here, and that is BlizzCon. All right, so here we are, just a couple days away from BlizzCon, and everything is flying fast and furious over at Blizzard headquarters. I'm sure you've seen on on the Twitters and everywhere else.
Yep.
Oh my God, I can't imagine having to put this thing on.
Can you imagine working there? Like every day you get to go. I mean, honestly, walking into Blizzard offices every single day. You go through the front gate and you get to walk by that orc statue every day. Maybe there's an employee entrance and that's just a different entrance with the orc statue. I don't know. I've never been there.
Well, they have like a campus, right? So it's a bunch of different buildings.
Yeah, it's a bunch of buildings. But I mean, I can't fathom just. I think I'd get. I bet you nobody gets tired of it either. I don't know. Maybe they do, but I wouldn't, being a Blizzard fan. I just, wow.
I get the sense that there is we talked about burnout earlier. When people are in crunch time, I think that this is, I don't know if that's an official phrase, but it seems like something they talk about a lot, where leading up to the launch of something or the completion of a huge project, there's just, and it's just an insane amount of work that goes on. And it seems like BlizzCon is one of those times because the Blizzard employees themselves are the ones that put this shit together. Like, this isn't some third-party company that they hire to do all of this stuff. I mean, for God's sakes, when Zarum used to be with the company, he kicked me out of a seat once at an old BlizzCon because he was helping work crowd control.
That's awesome.
So it's really the Blizzard people who put this stuff together. And so if you've ever wondered who is responsible, it really is the Blizzard employees who put this thing together. And it, on top of all their regular work duties, I mean, think about that. If you had to do all your regular work and then put together a show that covers, I can't remember how big the Anaheim Convention Center is, but it's 100,000 square feet, some insane size. It's huge,
right?
I mean, that's just, I can't imagine the kind of stress and all the bullshit that they got to put up with. Not only just putting together the show, but then also having to do the show itself, because they seem a little cranky, and I can't say I blame them when the time comes, but. For us, for this purpose, it looks like for us this year, Warcraft is going to be front and center.
Yes, and I'm happy about that. I think that's what gets me out of my funk too when I'm playing. I know exactly when I'm reaching burnout. Going back to our first segment, because I become a real cynical asshole in game. Like, I'm just like, I am the absolute worst person in game, and I have to filter myself tremendously in game. Because I know I start getting cranky, trolly, and I just want to log in and do my world quests. I want to log in and do raids, and then something gets announced, and then suddenly everything's good again. All the world quests are good. Everything in game is good. Cool, we're getting new content, and I'm happy again in game.
Nothing makes the world bright like a new love.
Exactly. There you go. Brand new expansion. All just. Attitude snaps, and it's all better at that point. So
I'm going to throw this out. Maybe the expansion cycle is kind of like that of a relationship, where at first when it's new and it's fresh and you're in that infatuation stage and you just feel all tingly and good inside, and then after a little while you kind of get into that groove, like, yeah, I'm enjoying this, but the high is not quite there as it once was, and then you kind of go on, and then that third or fourth patch in, you're like, I just don't feel it like I used to. And then, then you're off in the wind for a couple of months until the new one comes along.
Yep.
So for us, again, for Warcraft, looking at the schedule, and I guess looking at the floor plan, because that's kind of one of the other tips that I seem to pick up on here, in terms of why we think Warcraft is going to be having a big year this year. So what do you see on the schedule that gets you pumped?
Okay, so if you guys go out to the BlizzCon event schedule calendar, and you'll notice that there's a lot more. Everything in gold is Warcraft, basically. It's yellow stuff out there. So what I love is that you've got on November 3rd, which is opening day, you've got the World of Warcraft What's Next from 12:30 p.m. till 1:30 p.m. Pacific. Then after that, you've got All Craft Live at 1:45 and the Voices of Blizzard, the Powerful Women of War. You're getting more Warcraft items here. Last year, I don't think we didn't have, there was nothing really to talk about. There really wasn't.
There wasn't much. And also, for everybody out there who's into the big PvP aspect of the game, you've got the WoW Arena World Championship going on all day.
So you guys can catch up on that. But as you scroll through the time slots on this, Warcraft's taking up a lot of time. And then also something nice that's happening on November 4th is you're going to have the instance live, which is with Scott Johnson, and you're going to have other podcasters on there, which is nice for Blizz. It's nice that Blizzard's throwing this out there to the a callback to the podcasting community and bring the instance out there and letting them, giving them a space to do a live show.
And one of the other things that we have on Thursday is one of my all-time favorite panels, which is there's only two panels that my wife will actually wander into the room and watch. One is the costume contests, because we have the community contest, whatever we're calling them. She loves the costume contest because of just all the craziness there. But the other is probably the greatest panel of all BlizzCons, is the Warcraft live Q&A.
Oh yes.
Because that's where the real flotsam and jetsam of our beautiful community come out, stand in line, and ask the worst fucking questions on Earth. Now, every once in a while, you get a couple of good ones, but
Red shirt guy,
legend, right? Legend for calling them out on the fact that they screwed up on their own lore. But for every one of those guys, it's some guy that's asking why a druid can't have a 16th form.
Yeah.
And that it both boggles my mind, drives me crazy, and at the same time it's like a car wreck and I can't look away. So kind of going back to what you were saying, looking where we are on day one, we have the opening ceremony starts at 11 o'clock on Friday, November the 3rd. And then only a half hour after it ends at 12, we have World of Warcraft What's Next. And that typically is the slot on the main stage that's saved for whatever the big announcement is.
Mm-hmm.
Couple that with, if you look at the floor plan of BlizzCon this year, you'll see that in comparison to last year, the demo area for Warcraft is like twice as big as it was. And it's right there next to the main hall. So again, now you have more space for Warcraft. Well, why would people be now suddenly that interested in a game that really we're going into the last patch? Oh, wait, we're going into what could be the last major patch. And it looks like this is the right time to announce an expansion. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. And they're going to be greeted with you guys are going to be greeted with Sylvanas there too. It looks like the Sylvanas statue.
Really?
Yeah, if you look at the floor plan for BlizzCon 2017, they're going to have a Sylvanas statue right there in front of the World of Warcraft demo area.
Have we seen any pictures of this yet?
No, I just typed in I just went out there and I typed in BlizzCon 2017 floor map, and I noticed that there's a square there with Sylvanas. So they've got Sylvanas, Kerrigan, and Junkrat. I guess those are the statues that they're going to put out there for World of Warcraft, Heroes of the Storm, and Overwatch.
Have you ever seen any of those statues live in person?
I have not. I imagine whenever I see them,
they're
towering.
Amazing.
Yeah, I bet they are. I bet that's something.
The statues that they have had, they've had the Kerrigan statue that's been around for a long time. They had, of course, the orc and wolf statue, which is legendary. I mean, I've been an Alliance guy all my career with Warcraft. All my time with Warcraft. And even I think that thing is badass. They have the Varian one, which just blew my fucking mind. They have an Illidan one, which is crazy. They have a Grommash one, which was awesome. And now you're adding Lady Sylvanas. Oh, and there's an awesome Raynor one from StarCraft.
Yeah.
That thing is fucking crazy to see, like a giant mech in person, and there's like a dude in it, and he's just kind of staring off into space, like, where'd my lady go? How do I pee in this thing? Who knows what he's wondering? But yeah, it's those things are amazing to see. So that could be a nice addition. I'm sure it will be a nice addition. I'm saying could. I'm sure it's gonna be fucking rad.
Yeah. So now with Sylvanas being the statue there, I know she's the leader of the Horde currently. Is that something that we're going to see going into the next expansion then, do you think? I mean, is that giving us some sort of...
Well, you're bringing up a good point here, because one of the other panels that we have on day one. This will be on, I guess, the second stage. They're now calling them the mythic, legendary, epic, and heroic stages, as opposed to whatever main stage, stage B, C, whatever they were doing. Right after, well, not right after, you have about an hour and 15 minutes after the What's Next for Warcraft panel ends. You have a panel coming up on the second stage called Voices of Blizzard, the Powerful Women of Warcraft.
Yeah, that's going to be on the legendary Spotlight series.
Yes, the legendary Spotlight
North Hall,
series stage.
level 2. Yes, okay.
So we've seen, leading up to BlizzCon, Jaina has figured very prominently in all of the artwork as far as Blizzard, or as far as Warcraft goes. Yep. Now we have a Sylvanas statue. There seems to be, and we'll talk about this in a minute, there seems to be a lot of people pointing towards a oceanic adventure on our way. Could this also be a tip of the hat to what's to come in terms of who the major players in the next Warcraft expansion are?
I think so.
Do you think we'll get Sylvanas as a raid boss?
A raid boss? I don't know, because actually that's a good thought, because
Do you think we'll get Jaina as a raid boss? Is she truly a Dreadlord, as I keep hearing?
I'm so tired of the Dreadlord Jaina stuff. I am so tired of that. There's no... Oh, man, I'm so tired of that. If she didn't go bad after the Mana Bomb, I mean, I don't know what else. I don't know. I'm just tired of the whole Dreadlord Jaina thing, I guess. Don't corrupt our heroes. Don't. It's like... Arthas I didn't really care about, just whatever. But
that's happening. I mean, that's happening. There's gonna, somebody's got to go bad at some point.
I know.
So, on the heels of that, so we've got the What's Next. We've got the Powerful Women of Warcraft. Then after that, there's going to be the, what is this called? The Gameplay and Systems Deep Dive, where the devs are going to talk about the latest gameplay and systems updates.
Yeah.
New expansion, new stuff to talk about.
Yep, exactly.
Although it's only 45 minutes. I don't know why. It seems like that needs a good hour. Or at least another 15 minutes bumper time for people to come up and ask questions about, why legendaries aren't going to be around anymore. Or complain about all the AP I farmed that's now worthless.
That's going to be one of the questions that comes up.
But it seems like day one is really the big day for Warcraft, whereas on day two, we have the instance. There will be the art of Warcraft, which is always good. I love all that stuff. I have all the collector's editions saved for the original because I love all the art, and I have it hanging on my walls at home and all of that. But then after that, we have the live Q&A, and that's it for day two.
Well, there's the cosplay stuff. If you're into cosplay, they're doing Cosplay Craft 101, taking your first step in cosplay design, costume craft, cosplay and design. So, I mean, if you're into cosplay and you like to make, costumes, I mean, I see all these people that are way more talented than I am doing costumes. I sit there and I watch them on Twitch all the time designing these things. I'm like, God, how are they going to, that's how they're going to do that shoulder piece, or, that's how they're going to make those big ass swords and props.
A lot of foam.
I mean, yeah, a lot of foam
and a lot of glue guns. Yeah, those guys are crazy. Oh, I screwed up here. There's one more good panel here. World of Warcraft Boss Design Workshop.
Oh.
The WoW Encounter team invites the community to peek behind the scenes at our roundtable, where we'll brainstorm and design a new dungeon boss from scratch. That sounds kind of tight.
That does sound, yeah.
Let's see. What could it be? Ian Hazakostas. And we'll blend him with Ghost Crawler, Greg Street. Even though he's not around anymore, we'll just bring him back. We'll merge them into one body, and they'll just have endless nerf abilities.
Yeah, there we go. And only
whatever class
warriors.
You play, suddenly you do nothing.
And then they just buff warlocks at the end.
And then
That's
just
what
buff
happens.
Warlocks. Fucking assholes. So that's a pretty good rundown of what our schedule looks like for BlizzCon. But it really does look like we're getting a new expansion, which I don't think they're making any big secret about. They obviously can't say anything until it's time to really announce, but the stars do seem to be aligning in that way. And so with that in mind, this is always a good time of year to start seeing the leak parade come around. And people that have listened to the show in the past know that I try to avoid spoilers as much as possible, but given the circumstances here, I'm going to bend my own rule just a little bit. And I will throw out the caveat, if you don't want to know anything, if you don't want to think about anything, go ahead and just skip this segment of the show. But I did want to talk about what you and I have seen in terms of some of the leaks. Nothing has been confirmed. This is all just internet hearsay. But I want to talk about what you and I have seen, what we think are our favorites, and maybe what we hope is the next expansion. So going out there and looking at what you've seen, the evidence that's been provided by all sorts of people and places, what do you find is the most compelling leak or expansion idea that you've seen so far?
I actually like the South Seas and the Kul Tiras theory. I like that one a lot.
So you think we're heading out I'm on a boat?
Yes, I think we're headed out to I'm on a boat, because I think 2018 is going to be, 2018 is going to be the year of the pirate games. You've got Ubisoft's Skull and Bones, and you've got Rare's Sea of Thieves coming out. And then on top of that, with all of the, Kul Tiras, again, I'm not a lore guy. You're a lore guy. That is where Jaina's family is from. Is that correct?
Yep, the Proudmoores, yes.
The Proudmoores are from there.
Yes.
I think we're just going to see a South Seas expansion. I know people are like, oh, I want Naga. I want to be a Naga. I want to do this. Well, I don't know if you're going to be able to be a Naga. I just have a feeling that that's where we're headed. Maybe we'll have another underwater zone. I know people weren't too happy about that. People weren't happy about that in Kata. I loved it. I will admit, I loved it. I didn't mind it so much. I think they did it really well compared to other games that do underwater things like EverQuest. Fighting in EverQuest underwater was shit. It wasn't too bad in World of Warcraft at all. I didn't mind it. Oh man, and I think we're gonna see like Waterworld. Maybe our main city will be this constant. Well, no,
floating mess of junk.
Yeah, just a floating massive pirate ship. I was gonna say
who gets to be Kevin Costner?
Let's think here.
Or more importantly, is Dennis Hopper going to be a raid boss then?
Dennis Hopper, the raid boss. That'd be awesome.
Pretty Captain Joe.
And maybe we'll get a Catamaran out there too. Yeah.
Do we have to drink our own urine? Is that going to be the new flask?
Yeah, that's going to be the new flask. All right,
lemon flavored urine flask. Boy, that's a hell of an expansion idea right there.
Also, I think Blizzard is going in the direction of, hey, we've had all these strong, prominent. It's been a male-dominant WoW thing for a long time.
Yes,
I have a feeling like they want to push women in charge, and I'm on board with that. I'm not white knighting it right now. I'm just saying I'm on board with that. Switch it up a little bit. We had talked the other night a little bit about lore, and we had talked about. The last book that I read was the War Crimes.
Yeah. And
in it, Verisa got close with Sylvanas, and they were going to murder Garrosh. Spoilers. Sorry, guys.
It was, you know what? And it was so great to see them finally working together.
Yes. So, and then Verisa went and said, I'm not going to kill Garrosh, and I'm not going to join my sister in the afterlife, or not afterlife. It was undeath, right? Because the only way that Verisa would be able to join Sylvanas is if Sylvanas had her murdered or something like that.
Right.
And then she would, bring her back from the dead, and she'd be forsaken or undead or a banshee or something like that. But I think what we're going to see in this next expansion is we're going to see the power players be predominantly female, and I think that's actually, it's not a bad thing, because we've had, oh my god, and not nothing against Thrall, but we've had Thrall for how many expansions?
Arthas,
a million.
Green Jesus has always been around.
Which he'll probably make a comeback. In this next expansion.
Yeah, I think to your point, certainly one of the criticisms that was leveled against Warlords of Draenor was how it was a boys' club.
Yeah,
And
it was. It was a big boys' club.
Yeah, I mean, you had what, 8 dudes that were all on the cover, and they tried to throw in the one orc female kind of on the back end of things to be like, oh, yep, no, there's women involved, and that was kind of it. So it would make a lot of sense, honestly, for them to come around on the back end of that in their planning and say, maybe we have had strong female characters in this franchise, but we really haven't spotlighted them all that much. Maybe now is the good time to start doing that, particularly considering you have Jaina, who's the most powerful mage, as far as I know, on Azeroth, if not all of Warcraft universe. And then you have the Dark Lady leading the Horde. So you have 2 characters already right there. Plus you have a litany of other support characters, which could very easily be boosted up into the higher ranks when it comes to the storytelling aspects. And you could get, and I think it's fair to say, you could get a very strong expansion that is led by women, but you don't necessarily, or female characters, but it doesn't necessarily have to be this, see, we're doing it, here's all the ladies, say we're making it happen. But I mean, you can do that in an organic way.
Exactly. Absolutely. And I actually thinking about it, if they were going to go down the Dreadlord path of having Jaina go completely bad and have her a raid boss, I think it would be some sort of turn of events where we have Sylvanas, where we least expect her to be like, it'll end up like if I had to go out there and try to think of a storyline where Jaina goes bad and we have to go and fight Jaina, in the end, I have a feeling it would just be like the same Garrosh fight where we go in and we defeat Jaina at some point. If we're going to explore that and we're going to go in and we're going to defeat Jaina, then you have Sylvanas come in and be the voice of reason and be like, hey, look, you need to have the balance. We're not going to kill her, and we're going to be like, what, or something like that. So I can see Sylvanas stepping into, because I've not rolled a Horde. I don't know how the story's happening on the Horde side, but we've heard shit from our leader, Anduin, other than the storyline we went through. He went out on the, again, I'm jumping the rails again. He went out on the Broken Shore, found the sword, and gave us that look and gave us that stare like, cool, he's on board with something. Maybe we'll see something when the next raid drops. Maybe he'll be more involved there. But I don't know if Sylvanas on the same side, if they're doing anything with that storyline. And that's why I almost want to level a Horde just a little bit, just to see the storyline, because I don't know what's going on the Horde side. And I don't know, because Sylvanas was made the High Chieftain. Is that right? She's the
war chief.
She's the war chief. Right. So I don't know if there's any storyline there with that. I don't know cutscenes. I don't know these things.
This is an all alliance show. So I can't help you there.
Yeah, exactly.
But one of the other things that I've seen, to kind of go back to what you were saying, so we're looking at potentially a South Seas on your end of things, a South Seas type expansion where Jaina, possibly Sylvanas, are leads of the expansion. One of the connections that I've also seen with the sort of the quote unquote leaks that have come out with that is trying to link it to the old gods, specifically to the old god N'Zoth, which is under the ocean. So there's the old god that's deep within the earth, and we still have one left to deal with. And they've told us that there's this old god that's still out there, and that somehow there's a nexus between the old god under the ocean and some of the issues that we've dealt with trolls being on their own island that we haven't seen. So you could have like a troll island, Kul Tiras. You could have more of the guys down in the southern end of the the dudes in the sky. Like Telebeam.
What?
Yeah, Telebeam. That's another one I've seen.
What guys in the sky? Help me out with
that. You know that raid in the sky where you had to fly up and it was down on the southern end of the western continent?
That one. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So apparently there could be more involved with them. So there's kind of like this nexus of where you have this ocean idea, and it's who could be touching an ocean. It could be the Proudmoores and Kulturas, because we do have Barrett Hold, which is supposed to be the Kulturas prison. And then you have an old god who's connected to the ocean. Then you have the trolls who have an island somewhere that we haven't found. And then you have potentially, some dark elf shit happening, which ties into the old gods and then brings it somehow all together. And then I guess Anduin is I don't know.
He's got the cool
something.
Assassin's Creed outfit. That's what I know about Anduin right now.
He's role playing. He's cosplaying as Assassin's Creed.
He's cosplaying as Assassin's Creed right now. That's
it.
He's really big into Assassin's Creed right now. That's what he's doing.
Well, and you said something too to me on Twitter, which was that you think that pirates are involved.
I just have a feeling that it's because we're doing South Seas and Kulturas and all of that. It's because in Kulturas, the Proudmoore, they had the biggest fleet, right? They had the largest fleet. Is that
right.
Is that correct? So I have a feeling
they were the naval force.
They were the naval force, right? So I think that's what we're going to be dealing with.
All right, so talked about the South Seas, talked about Jaina, talked about Sylvanas, talked about possibly connections to the ocean, but there is one leak that I saw on the ever famous MMO Champion forums some time ago. And it was actually a leak that talked about a potential cinematic for an expansion, which I know kind of sounds, like cinematic. We usually get like details about stuff. Why is the cinematic perking that much interest? Well, I will tell you, because many years ago, when StarCraft 2 was still in its early days of being released, the very early concept of the Heart of the Swarm expansion actually leaked on YouTube.
Whoa.
The end cinematic in its like basic nuts and bolts with just the voiceover. Somehow somebody leaked that to YouTube.
Oh wow!
So whenever I see something with a cinematic pop up, I always kind of get my interest piqued. And this one deals with the one connection that we know Jaina and Sylvanas do have, which is the Lich King.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And I am an unabashed Wrath of the Lich King fan. I love that storyline. I love that expansion. I love Arthas. I love the aesthetics. I loved everything about it. So anything to bring that back into the fold, I am all good with. And with the Death Knights and I did play a little bit through their legendary or their artifact.
The artifact, it's a good story.
So going through the artifact storyline with them, the Bolvar Lich King is certainly active. He's doing something.
Mm-hmm.
And what this cinematic leak, quote unquote, talked about was Sylvanas going to the Frozen Throne, shattering it, somehow ripping Bolvar's soul out, and them now bringing in Arthas's body and installing Arthas's soul somehow back into his body and putting the helm on him, or something like that. So essentially bringing back the Lich King, but it looks like as a servant, possibly, to Sylvanas. And it could be crazy, and it's been a little while since I've read it, so that it could be a little bit different in the leak. But it essentially was trying to claim that we're going to have some sort of revamp of Northrend, that we're going to have the Lich King back in some capacity, but it won't be as he was before. And in a way that makes sense, because one, I think that we have to have some sort of Northrend revamp at some point. And, we got an Outland one that needs to happen too. But the other thing is that we know that Sylvanas is dependent upon the Valkyr to keep herself alive. Because if you read the short story that was done several years ago, Sylvanas actually killed herself. Do you know about this?
No, I don't know about this.
So at the end of Wrath of the Lich King, she actually went up, according to the short story, she went up to the top of the Frozen Throne, and she saw that there was still a body there with the Helm of Domination on him. So she knew that the Lich King in some form was still around, and she was in such despair by all of this that she threw herself off the top, and she crashed down on the rocks below, and she died.
Okay.
Well, and what's kind of really cool about this story is you get a sense of what happens to the souls of the people in the Warcraft universe who aren't good when they die. And Arthas is basically a tortured little boy lost in a void. and it's like really super creepy. And she sees him there, and she's pulled out of this void. Her soul is pulled out of this void by these Valkyr who swear like fealty to her, but she only has so many of these Valkyr, and each time one of these Valkyr die, she's like that much closer to like permanent death. And she only has now like one left or two left or something like that. So she has to find a way to stay alive. And so, again, kind of pulling into why Sylvanas might be an important character is she's actually kind of in crisis mode right now because she's losing the only tether that she has back to this world. And so somehow it's possible that they res the Lich King, or they bring him back, and he has the power to do something or the knowledge to do something that can keep her alive. And, and then she still gets some sense of retribution because it wasn't Sylvanas that killed him. It was us. So, kind of like, I guess, Maiev with Illidan, she never got her retribution. And so I think that she may still be looking for that. And this would be an opportunity for her to do that. It would also be an opportunity for me to mark out big time to the Lich King because I fucking love him. So, but anyway, when I saw that, when I originally read that leak, I was not, at first I was kind of like, I don't want to read it. I don't want to be surprised. But I gave in to temptation because that's what I do. I'm a very weak-willed person in this way. I give in to my temptations.
Spoilers.
Yeah, I try to avoid them, but I couldn't avoid this one.
I run head first into them. I love it. I will go watch out. I will watch every single leak cutscene out there before I even finish a raid instance. If the cinematic for the new WoW expansion came out tomorrow, I'd go out there and watch it, and it wouldn't bother me in the least. I love that kind of stuff.
You are a real man.
I'm the worst person with that, and I wouldn't spoil it for people, but
Well, that's good. That's part of the key is you can't spoil it for everybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so you're going with South Seas expansion. I'm going with some sort of odd Lich King revival, Electric Boogaloo. Now, is there any other one that you've seen out there that you think merits mentioning?
Not really, but I'm just puzzled I'm trying to think how this expansion that we're in right now with Legion, how Legion is going to end and how we're going to make the transition into what we plan to do next. Because if we're going to turn this into I'm trying to think of a way to, because right now we're trying to get rid of the Burning Legion, but then are we turning our focus towards Azeroth? Is that how that's going to work? Because...
Well, one of the things that they've tried to do in recent years, especially with... Have you seen the Chronicle books that they've put out?
No.
So, in the last couple of years, Blizzard has put out what they call the World of Warcraft Chronicles. I think there's 2 out now. There's a 3rd one on the way. And it really dives deep into the lore of the game and kind of explains as much as it can the backstory and filling in some of the timelines and trying to coalesce everything into one coherent story for Warcraft. And one of the things that they did very early on was that they established that there is this void that exists out there. And there's these void lords that exist out there. So there's something that's even worse than the Legion. Because the Legion was always the big bad for us in Warcraft, but then it has to come a time, right, when the Legion goes down. So then who's after that? And we figured it was the Pantheon, that somehow the Pantheon had gone rogue or some weird shit had happened with them. But that doesn't really seem to be the case, other than Sargeras, who I don't know quite what we're doing with him yet. But the whole idea that they explained was that Sargeras only went bad to try to defeat the Void. He's only destroying the universe so the Void can't take it over.
Is that what we're dealing with Varisa right now?
Yes.
Okay, so on Argus, there's all those Void things. Because I'm going to say that I am SNL chatting my way through the expansion so far. When people give me a quest, I'm just like, okay, just click next, and I go look for my... I'm not really paying attention to the story, so I need to go run this on an alt. Which
How dare you?
I've been doing it on a Demon Hunter, so I can watch the story at this time, because I was going through on my warrior. I clicked through everything just to get through it. I was like click, escape, and
sometimes that's how it is.
But I am going through the story.
I got to power level this shit.
Now the puzzles, now the pieces are just like, oh, that's why. Okay,
that's
right,
why there's
cool.
these giant shadowy blobs trying to kill me.
Got it. Okay.
God dang it. Yes. So that's also what they're trying to tie in. I've seen a lot on the leaks, to your point about the South Seas stuff, is that there's a Void connection in there too, because now the Void is the Void Lords and all of that stuff. That's now going to be the big bad, because it goes down to the literal creation blocks of the Warcraft universe is the light and the void. And I don't know, I think we're finding out that maybe sort of like what we're going to see with the Jedi is that maybe they're just two extremes and we just need to be a little bit more in the center, and that's how people will actually survive everything. But yeah, it's the void is I think the next transitional piece, where even after we destroy the Legion in their home, well, there's still something that's bigger after that.
Okay.
So then somehow there's a threat to Azeroth, I guess, to answer your question. It's what it would seem, right? There's always somebody that, oh, while you were busy over there, I was over here.
Well, and that's the main thing. Azeroth is the main. Everybody wants Azeroth. Everybody, all the bad guys. Everything is coming to take on Azeroth. So, Azeroth itself is a Titan, right? I mean, is that true? Is that
there's like a Titan or a world soul inside of it that can become, one of these Pantheon members.
I just have a feeling that it's going to be we're going to on top of everything else going on. I have a feeling it's our trying to heal Azeroth expansion. I think we're going to try to fix and try to repair to the best of our ability the damage that's taken place with, like I said before, the Cataclysm and that big gaping hole out in Silthus. That is something's living down there. There's something down there.
All right. Well, that's all data mine stuff, and I don't know anything about that.
All right.
You big jerk. Spoiler alert! I told you people to skip it, so if you listen to that, that's your own damn fault. All right, so we talked about some spoilers-ish stuff, what we think is going to happen here at BlizzCon, some panels we're looking forward to. And one of the things that I did want to bring up just real briefly is that this is now going to be the second, I believe, BlizzCon without Chris Metzen. And I don't know, we talked a little bit about this. It seems that with Metzen's retirement, if we're calling it that, I guess he called it that, with him being gone, it doesn't really feel to me like there's a central voice of Blizzard anymore at these things. Do you think that in any way hinders your enjoyment of BlizzCon at all, without having the one big guy to come out and scream at the beginning and get you all pumped up? Or are you just more excited about the games and just whoever comes out and talks, you're good to go?
Whoever comes and talks, I'm good to go. Now let me explain to you though the type of person I am. I am as much as I hate change, I've learned to accept change and it's what I do with work and everything like that. So when change happens, I don't necessarily look at it as a bad thing. Always, there's always a positive side to it. This year we're bound to see Ian Hazzikostas come out on stage, and I'm sure he will probably get people ramped up. You're not going to have the, Metzen coming out like a rock star, but I'm interested to see who is going to come out instead, and I have a feeling it will be Ian, and I'm just on board with whatever, like we said at the beginning, Blizzard can put out something, I'll pick it up, I'll buy it. I'm very excited. I've always been excited about new World of Warcraft expansions. So yeah, I'm on that fence where it's just, it was sad to see Metzen retire, but I welcome, the changing of the guard. I'm welcoming, I'm accepting that it's going to be different this time. So I don't know. How about you?
Well, see, I'm the exact opposite. I hate change.
Okay.
I'm one of these people. Well, I will tell you that the only constant in life is change, but I'm also the same person that I am resistant to change. I'm a creature of habit. It's probably because I'm a child of divorce and I just crave some sort of stability in my life. I don't want anything to change ever. I want everything to be in the same place all the time. But I also really, when it comes to Metzen, I really I know he was over the top, and I know that there were things about him that annoyed people. Like, I get all of that, but I love the guy. I bumped into him just a couple of times at BlizzCon. as being like the guy at BlizzCon, he was super nice, and he dealt with me acting like a lunatic around him. And I like having, obviously I'm a narcissist enough to do this kind of show where I like, big personalities and people that come out and, do the thing. And so I liked having him be that focal point. I also liked, to an extent, the way that he drove certain storylines within the Blizzard universe. It's possible that, he kept wanting to go down roads that maybe they didn't want to go down, which led also to his retirement, along with, I'm sure, just a shit ton of burnout. But at BlizzCon, I always look forward to his big opener, even if it was just Geek Is, which is, it was painful to watch that one year when it was Geek Is, because they had nothing to announce.
Right.
And he did his little PowerPoint presentation. God bless him. But as much as I do miss him, I will say that it is nice to see other folks get an opportunity, which is what BlizzCon really is for Blizzard as a company, as an opportunity to showcase not just to us who already play the games and are totally going to do whatever, but to new people and to bring in younger folks into the fold that are, finally coming to the age where they can play these games, or maybe bringing people back into the fold who left because they just became disinterested. And it gives other people a chance to give those presentations, which in a way that's pretty cool too, because Blizzard has to continue to grow and thrive as their own company.
Yeah.
And this is an opportunity, obviously, to do that. I say that too, knowing that there is something in secret that they're still working on, which we're probably not going to know about for 10 more years. But do you think there's any chance that we find out anything about the secret project? Because for those of you that have not been paying attention or maybe have seen it, there have been several high-ranking devs within the Blizzard house who have left projects, whether it's been Warcraft or Heroes of the Storm or otherwise, to go to an unnamed project within Blizzard. So we know for a fact that there is something there, but we don't know what it is.
I think I know what it is. I think they're just
what is it?
I think they're just going to revamp World of Warcraft, but with a bigger bag slot, bigger bag for the first slot. I think they're going to have to retool.
Just blew my mind.
They're going to have to retool the entire game. I think actually
you blew it open. Then
I think Metzen actually said that at one of the BlizzCons. I think he said that they would have to actually retool the entire game just because the size of the bags, that one bag. We can never change that one freaking little bag.
It's so deep in the code that they can't change it now.
It'll break everything if they change it. Yeah.
Oh my God! I think you just shattered the internet.
No, but actually, I did think about somebody who could come out and hype it up, because as much as I respect Ian for his the Q&As and things like that, I think somebody who could come out and amp the crowd up like Metzen did would be Samwise. I think Samwise could come out and do that as well.
Oh man, I love that guy.
I think he could come out. And I don't care if he's dressed head to toe in all of his Horde garb. I don't care. Just come out and get the crowd revved up. It's like, I think you'd be able to do that.
Yeah, for people that don't know who we're talking about, if you don't, you should. Samwise Didier is essentially the art director for Blizzard. He has been a lead artist for them on many, many projects for a very long time, and he's been... If you notice that Blizzard has a certain aesthetic to its games, he's one of the individuals who's very centrally involved in that. And I have one of his works of art sitting on my desk right next to me. It's an orc sitting on a wolf staring down an Alliance soldier with his sword and shield ready to go, and it's pretty cool. And I got it signed, and I'm a total mark. And yeah, it's fun of me. But I love the work that he does. And yeah, he's the singer of the Warcraft house band, Elite Tauren Chieftains.
That's pretty cool.
So if you saw maybe the BlizzCon, the last time they played was when Metallica was the closer, and Elite Tauren Chieftains came out and did the opener, and they sang like "I Am Murloc." They have a couple of funny songs. Rogues do it from behind. Pretty good stuff. So, all right. Well, I think that kind of takes care of BlizzCon. We're looking forward to it. Lots of good panels. Pretty sure we're getting an expansion. Not sure what we're going to get, but we're going to get something. And we're looking forward to that November 3rd and 4th. Get your virtual streams. I'm not being paid for this, but maybe I'm an influencer now, Nav.
That's right. You're influencing.
I'm an
people.
influencer because I'm
Buy the
telling
virtual
you to
ticket,
buy virtual ticket,
and you get the
your
mounts.
free stuff,
and you get your WoW mounts, which is
get your ship.
Yeah, get your ship.
Get your Alliance ship, gunship,
or your Horde ship if you're listening to us on the Horde side.
Whatever. Delete this if you're a Horde. No, seriously, keep listening. It's okay. Yeah, I love everybody, just not
except
the Horde.
It's okay.
It's okay. So November 3rd and 4th, and of course, Nav and I will be back next week after BlizzCon to talk about, of course, what actually happened, what went right, what went wrong.
I think a lot of that's just going to be,
got asked.
oh my God, and I think that's just going to be the whole show, just oh my God.
I hope the expansion is something we have no idea about, and they totally throw a curveball.
You know what?
And we're all like,
I'm on board
shit.
with that too. I agree. Yeah. I hope it's just like they put it out there and they're like, hey, talk about South Seas. It's going to be South Seas. It's going to be Kulturas, and all of a sudden we're in deep space somewhere else.
Or we're on the other side.
Or we're on the other side of Azeroth. That's right.
The whole other continent.
Because we're not flat Azerothers here. Azeroth is round.
Azeroth is #Azeroth is round. Fucking write that down. All right, so with that, we're gonna do something a little different, as this show is wont to do. I was sent a few days ago a survey in my email.
Okay,
and it is from Blizzard.
All right.
It claims to be a Blizzard Entertainment related survey, and I'm going to read to you what this brief little statement here says. It says, Dear Berzerker, yes, it really does say Dear Berzerker, Blizzard Entertainment is constantly listening to its players to improve our games. We'd like to better understand your gaming habits and opinions on advertising. Very relevant to our earlier discussion. Please take this quick survey, which should only take about 10 minutes. Oh, 10 minutes. I bet we can do better. We value your feedback in helping us understand our players better. I wonder how much they value our feedback. Let's find out. If there's a button here that says take the survey, let us click it now. And I'm taken to a tab. There's somebody called MDC, Mary David Charlie Research. This already looks interesting. It says, thank you for taking time to participate in the important online survey for Blizzard. Your input is critical, yada, yada, yada. This now says it will take 15 minutes to complete.
Wow.
Oh, my God. We're being bamboozled already.
Let's go through it.
Progress bar. 11%. Click the play button below to begin. All right, let's go. Ooh, what is my age? Can I lie about my age?
Sure, go for it.
How old should we say we are?
Let's just say 30. We'll do 30.
30. Okay. All right, here we go. What is my gender? Well, I'm going to say male.
Don't assume our genders.
I'm not. Don't assume, but I'm going to put male here.
Attack helicopter. Go ahead.
Yes, my gender is beef.
Pandaren.
Which of the following activities have you done in the past 3 months? Attended a live sports event? Yes. Used a digital music streaming service? Yes. Purchased a smart TV a year ago. Saw a movie in theaters? Have you seen a movie in the last 3 months?
No, I haven't.
Okay, all right. Have you played a video game?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to click that. Have you streamed a TV show?
Yes. Yes. I don't have kids, so yes.
Let's see. Maybe this works better if you take the survey. How about that?
Oh
You're going to take the survey now. I'm going to read you the questions. You take the survey.
Oh, God. Okay. All right.
Have you purchased a surveillance camera system?
Yes.
Have you switched cell phone carriers?
No.
Have you visited a theme park?
Yes.
Okay, next page. What devices do you... Oh, they list every gaming device here.
Wow.
Do you follow... which of the following devices do you play games on? Anything besides PC, Nav?
Xbox. Xbox One.
Anything else?
No, just PC and Xbox One.
How about a tablet?
I don't have a tablet.
Okay, here we go. In a typical week, oh boy, you're going to hate this question.
All right.
You have to be real honest about yourself now.
All right, real honest.
And we're going to find out a lot about you.
Yep, absolutely.
How many hours do you play video games on each of your devices, PC and console, split out separately?
All right, let's say, honestly, I would say about 32 hours of gaming a week.
How many of those on a PC?
I would say that there are 20 hours on the PC. Actually, hang on. If I'm doing 28 hours, I'm going to say 25 hours on the PC and about 3 hours on the Xbox. Yep, I would say that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Not making me do math here. I appreciate that. All right, here you go. We're only 28% through, by the way. I'm sure the audience is asleep.
God. Yeah, I know. They're pulling into work right now with their Dunkin' Donuts, being like,
what the fuck did I just listen
to?
Now, we'd like to focus specifically on World of Warcraft. Oh, thank God.
Yay,
this is gonna
thank
take
God.
Forever.
Okay.
What are your reasons for playing World of Warcraft? And there's a whole bunch here. I'm going to read one, and you tell me if I should click off on it.
Okay.
Stopped playing other games.
I didn't stop.
Yes or no?
No, I have not stopped playing other games to play World of Warcraft.
Role playing.
Don't care about role playing.
Sense of achievement.
Yes.
Enjoy dungeons.
Yes. I enjoy
the online community.
Yes, I do enjoy the online community.
PvP.
Yes. Love PvP.
Enjoy questing and leveling even though you don't read the text because you're a scumbag.
I actually do find questing and leveling very relaxing. Yes, I enjoy that.
Transmog collecting.
I will Yes, I'm a whore for that. Absolutely.
Immersed in the environment.
Yeah, I will say yes, absolutely.
You enjoy the character class options.
Yes, I do.
You want to play the Legion expansion.
I am playing Legion expansion.
Jesus, when did they put this together? Look forward to participating in raid content.
Absolutely.
Enjoy exploring the open world.
Sure.
Friends play the game.
Yes.
Story. Lore. I'm making you click that.
Okay, all right. You click that one for me.
You awful man. Are there any other reasons that you want to say why you play World of Warcraft?
It is a good way to maintain the friendships that I have.
All right, this thing is going on way too long, so I'm going to ask you the most important question for last, and then, I don't know, there's another 60 goddamn % of this thing, so we're just going to call it here. What is the highest level you have achieved in World of Warcraft?
Oh, 110.
You are the man. And submitted. God only knows what the other questions are, but it is time for us to move the hell on because this podcast is going to take forever, and nobody wants to listen to me drone on that much, asking you questions and us delving more into your personal life, which we're going to do over the course of this show in its future history anyway. So now, before we end this revival episode of Unshackled Fury, I did want to bring about one thing as a PSA. We're going to do a PSA now.
Okay.
And we're going to talk about how to officially debunk a rumor.
Yes.
Of a leak.
Yes. Absolutely.
So we've talked about them. We've seen them all over the internet.
Yep.
And for me, there is only one true official way to know when an expansion has become real, and that is when the trademark is filed. Going back now to every expansion that I know of, at some point, very near to BlizzCon, the official trademark filing shows up on the internet.
Yes.
Now, in a quainter time, before Blizzard caught on to this, you could actually look for yourself on the United States trademark, it's a patent and trademark office's website, and up through Warlords of Draenor, you could actually find the filing prior to BlizzCon. And I'm talking about like the day before or 2 days before.
Oh, wow.
That's when Warlords of Draenor showed up. That's when Pandaria, Wrath of the Lich King, Burning Crusade, all of that stuff showed up basically right before, and you could look it up.
Okay.
Now, they've caught on to us because this didn't happen with Legion. Legion was
showed up.
At Gamescom.
Yep.
And there was nothing on the US PTO website at the time. And it turns out that they've caught on to us, and they have been filing international trademarks in other countries.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so once the announcement is made, then you'll see probably shortly after the United States trademark being uploaded. But what they have discovered is that there are a couple of other international offices that they've been using to file trademarks outside of the U.S., and that's how they've been able to do this.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. That's really cool. Okay.
So to any of our international listeners out there, and I know that we have a few, check your whatever local patent and trademark office website and see if you can do a search. Now, here in the good old US of A, we do have the uspto.gov, which is the United States Patent and Trademark Office. And when you go to that website, there is a link where you can search for trademarks, and in parentheses, you'll see TESS, Thomas, Evil, Sam, Stinks, TESS. I don't know. I'm sure there's a more official way to say TESS, but I can't remember off the top of my head. When you click on that, you'll bring up a search page where you can type in a search term for every field they have, and the one that I recommend you search by is Blizzard. Because if you look under Warcraft, it might not work. Because they may not necessarily trademark it as Warcraft. It may be like just Legion, or it may just be Tides of Vengeance, or it may just be whatever you think it's going to be. Go under Blizzard, submit query, and then it'll bring up a whole host of stuff, and you'll see all kinds of applications that have been made, and you'll see, at least as of our recording, there hasn't been anything new in a while. And this, to me, is the best way to check and see whether something is real. So I don't know, Nav. Have you ever tried to do this before?
I did that when what was the last one that came out? The last time we talked about, well, not we, but the last time the community talked about this was the Corgi expansion and the when Warlord, like what you said with Warlords of Draenor, we went out there, we were trying to figure out the Dark Below, wasn't that it, or something like that?
The Dark Below, yes.
That was
Dark Below. For those of you that might remember, around the time of Warlords of Draenor, the Dark Below was one of the supposed leaks, and I had a bet that I made at the time on your old show, on the Converted podcast, with an old co-host of yours by the name of Sal, and we had a bet that the Dark Below was either real or not real, and I used this website to figure out for myself that the Dark Below was not real, and thus won a bet. And so if you guys go out there on YouTube right now, you can pull up The Ballad of Berzerker, and you can see and hear a custom song and video that was made by Sal about me vanquishing the Lich King back in the Wrath era.
That's right.
So let me tell you, folks, this is a very valuable website. Not only can you debunk rumors, but you can get your friends to pay up on bets. All right. I think we've done enough damage for one episode.
I think we've done way more than enough damage, and if we haven't put you to sleep by now or made you shut it off, or anything else, congratulations.
Oh, that's the power of editing. That's the power of editing, my friend. We'll figure some way around this.
Send us your ideas and thoughts about what you think the expansion is going to be. I mean, if you're listening to this within the week before BlizzCon and you get back to us, tweet at the show.
Yes, which we don't have a show handle. It's just me. And now it's you.
Well, tweet at you. Tweet at Berzerker Rage.
All right, folks. Well, that does it for this episode. And we will be back, like I said again, pretty quick turnaround. We'll be back next week to discuss all of the big news breaking out of BlizzCon. Until then, where can the people find you on the interwebs, Nav?
Well, right now you can follow me out on Twitter, and it is just Navox CTR. It's Navox CTR.
And as for me, like Nav said, you can always find me on Twitter at Berzerker Rage. You can email this show, because we have email, at unshackledfuryshow@gmail.com. And you can also find this show, as always, on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play. So until next time, drink hearty, friends. Enjoy BlizzCon, and we'll see you on the other side. Farewell, champions.